Opportunity a few years ago in this particular room, and I thought it was a real good idea and something I should get involved in, and I stayed involved because I didn't want to miss an opportunity. And about a year and a half ago, I started to take this very seriously and started to really buy in. I think that's what we're going to talk about more tonight, but I'm here to show you a presentation where this is a business that many of us in the room are doing, and if you're looking at this for the first, second, or third, or fourth time, understand it's a business that you can have, and you're really the sole proprietor of it. And what it has to do is you can have and educate people to make a decision to support sustainability and renewable energy without paying anything extra. In fact, saving money over time just by making a simple choice to choose your electricity supply from a company called Veridian. And also what this business includes now is that you can provide solar for yourself or for your friends and family, people that may be interested in solar. They've probably heard about solar and said, it's way too much money. We can now offer people complete solar systems on their house with absolutely no money down. I thought it was BS the first time I saw it. It took me and John Piontek about 7 months to really buy into it, to see, why is this so big? And now if you pay attention, you're starting to see companies like Google putting Google's putting $750 million investing in Solar City. Walmart is committed to going completely green over the next few years. And Apple just put $1 billion towards solar. And they're going to support 60,000 homes in addition to their own facility in California. So if those idiots are doing it, right, why isn't Tony from New Jersey all in? And Tony from New Jersey is now all in because enough about following the negative. Let's just look at the big picture here. Who are the visionaries? And you know what? This stuff does make sense, and there's a reason why people are just going in that direction. And hopefully you guys can understand that. But understand that this is about getting into that business for very little money. And like we said earlier, the name of the company is called Veridian. It's in its 6th year of existence. It was founded on 3 principles: that we do have energy choice, the popularity of green living and the reason why that's important, and then the distribution model, which is the business of the 21st century, network marketing. Something very interesting, something that I learn more about every day, because this is the way that we choose, that Michael Falquist, the CEO of the company, chooses to market the product. Because when he started, he's a traditional non-risk taker. When he started, they used a typical marketing system. All the junk mail you get every day and the obnoxious phone calls that come in at dinner time, that's what he chose. And you know what? He fell flat on his face, and then he learned about this network marketing model, why it makes so much sense in the energy industry. Because this is not a sexy product, electricity, right? It's really not. Solar's a little sexy, but electricity, when he first started, not a sexy product. So who wants to read a flyer about electricity? But if you have friends and family recommending that you can choose responsible energy at a savings, those people will be loyal to you, okay? And that's why this has completely blown up. And this is why he won Entrepreneur of the Year in 2012. And you can see the cast of characters who have also won this award. And there's many other famous people that won this award, by the way. And this is by Ernst & Young. The Starbucks guy, the Amazon guy, the Google guys, the LinkedIn guys. And then he, a few years later, he says, well, you know what? We need more capital, so what I'll do is I'll take a company public. And he created this company, Crius, which is the parent company of Veridian. And that company just made their biggest acquisition to date by buying a third-party energy company in Texas called Tri-Eagle, which really takes the scope of the company, which Veridian is a part of now, and increases the buying power which we have, especially in the commercial realm, which in the future, okay, will help us provide more and more value to our customers because we're getting a bigger piece of the pie. So the first thing that many people may not know is that you have a choice, especially in New Jersey, on where you buy your electricity, okay? And there's many states in this country that are deregulated as well, and Veridian is in just about all of those states. And here you can see a map indicating deregulation, and you can see the yellow, the blue, and the green are all the deregulated markets. And if we're not there, we'll be going there. Now, the blue ones down here, don't get excited, they're just natural gas only, okay? But eventually, as everything deregulates, we'll get there. We'll be in California with natural gas by the end of the year, Texas by the summertime. Warren Buffett calls this the greatest transfer of wealth in this country's history. There's a pile of money here, about $500 billion, and it's going to go into a bunch of little piles over here. And crossing that bridge is where I'm positioning myself, because it's got to go. $500 billion's got to go over this river to all these third-party suppliers, because no longer are the utilities going to supply the energy, and they're not in many of the states we just showed you. So these third-party companies, such as Veridian, okay, exist to accept that transfer. And we, as associates with Veridian, are setting our little toll booths up on that bridge. And what's really the cool thing about this is, and I'm very thick-skulled, I'm not an intelligent guy, I just try real hard. It took me about 2 months to figure this out, that I didn't have to change all the outlets in my house, and that there would be conditions where, that there would be a front loader ripping things up to put green wires underneath my lawn. Nothing at all changes. What you're simply doing when you make the choice for Veridian, to choose a responsible product and have price certainty over the next couple of years, is what you're doing is you're greening the grid. You're providing more and more renewables into the grid. And we're going to have a special guest in a few minutes to talk about the importance of that. And Veridian provides basically two products. The everyday, the basic, our piece that we compete with is our everyday product, which is whatever the state mandates plus 50% renewable energy. We also have a pure green product as well. And then the cool thing about this is there's a 3-year term. We know that energy prices are very volatile, and they have been volatile definitely over the last year and a half. With a 3-year product, what you can do is you can have price certainty over those 3 years, and there's even a guarantee built in that Veridian is going to be cheaper than a utility. In fact, it's 110% of the difference you'll get paid back in the event that you paid more with the utility than you did with Veridian. So you get price certainty going forward and confidence. And also you're buying responsible energy from a company that's doing the right thing. Freedom Flex is a product that provides the first 6 months, if you so choose, the first 6 months you get a discounted rate, okay? A discounted rate, and then you will revert back, if you choose, an automatic lock on what the original fixed rate would have been. And there's no, there's nothing to worry about, hey, when it's 6 months, what should I do? Do I get a phone call? Do I get a mail? Do I get an email? No, it just automatically locks back, so you have that confidence going forward. There's also gas products in the Veridian footprint. And here is where Veridian is. As you can see, it's just about the entire Northeast. Okay, the Mid-Atlantic we got covered. And then Ohio and Illinois out in the Midwest. Okay? And like I said, there's going to be some other chips to fall this year. And every year, I mean, when I walked into this room with John and Sadre a few years ago, I think it was just Connecticut, New Jersey at that point, right? That was about it. Now this is kind of exciting that you can get into a solar business for a couple $100, and I had the opportunity to talk to some other solar companies in the last month or so, because I wanted to know why is there so many new solar companies? Well, the reason is there's so much money involved with this. It's astronomical the amount of money that's involved. But with that money comes an unbelievable amount of bureaucracy dealing with the state, the federal government, all sorts of things that give me a headache. And so how do you simplify that? Well, the way you simplify that is you have a guy by the name of Elon Musk.
America
And let's
is
talk
changing
about,
from the top
let
down,
the video talk a little bit about that.
and not a moment too soon. We're moving away from costly fossil fuels that pollute our air and water and harm the environment toward affordable, 100% clean energy from the sun. produced right on our rooftops. And in the process, we have the potential to slash our electric bills, boosting our nation's economy, and helping the planet in the single most important way that private citizens can. It's amazing what solar panels on a roof can do for your budget, for the earth, and for your life. In just a few minutes, you'll learn how you can make good money simply by being a part of the solar conversation. It's easy, and given today's high electricity rates, it's a conversation that people are genuinely interested in having. The truth is, they're doing a lot more than just talking. In just 18 months between 2012 and 2013, more Americans went solar than in the entire 30 years prior. In fact, right now, someone in America is going solar every 3 minutes. Experts predict that by 2016, someone will be going solar every 80 seconds. By 2020, more than 3 million Americans could have solar on their homes, 100 times as many as in 2006. But we're still right at the beginning. Only 1% of the US population has gone solar to date. In other words, there's a wide open opportunity to share the news, and Veridian helps you make the most of it. We've removed all of the barriers to going solar and made the entire process as simple as 1, 2, 3. Our solar customers receive free installation of their solar power system, plus locked-in low rates for the whole contract term, no matter how high utility rates rise. There's no upfront costs and no hidden charges, just the potential for decades of savings that look better every year. No paperwork or permitting hassles either. Plus, Veridian Solar customers receive free maintenance, free monitoring, and free replacements and repairs on their solar systems for a full 20 years. When it comes to minimizing the impact of your home energy use, going solar is the single most effective move a homeowner can make. Imagine what a world of good it would do if every qualified homeowner did. You can help make that happen. Even now, solar is a $120 billion industry in America alone. The growth potential is enormous, not just in the sunny states, but across the country, which is very good news for people who are looking to make a difference and make some very good money too. Veridian has the tools that make it easy, the earning potential that makes it worthwhile, and the flexibility that lets you participate at the level that feels right for you. Whether you'd like to simply refer friends and family as a Veridian Solar Rewards partner, or start your own business as a Veridian associate, you can play a role in the solar industry and earn extra money to spend on anything you like. We can offer you so much because in 2009, Veridian created the whole category of affordable, responsible energy. Not just solar, but green electricity and responsible natural gas too. Today, we're ranked in the top 50 globally by Direct Selling News and have transformed thousands of lives. And the best part is, you don't have to be a solar expert to take advantage of our combined experience. We've got you covered every step of the way. And we know how powerful a message we have. Our company is living proof of how quickly it spreads. Just one referral can generate so many more as people tell their friends, who pass it on and pay it forward. Talk to your Veridian associate about solar and how you can get involved. Be a friend. Help the planet. Change your life. Share this.
So that video is so old, it's like 3 months old, that this just changed from 3 minutes to now, it's now 2.5 minutes. So this is how quickly it's happening, and there is a sense of urgency to this, I believe. I don't think that we can just say, it seems like a good opportunity, I'll revisit it next year, because there's a number of things at play with government funding, subsidies and things like that. So I think you got to wonder why Apple would do what they did now, as opposed to wait. Why would Google go $750 million in on solar now? And I'm sure that we have to. If you're interested in this, and I am, that there's got to be a sense of urgency. And there is a sense of urgency with Veridian and its partner SolarCity. That Elon Musk is the chairman of the board for that company, and he came seeking out Michael Fulquist of Veridian to use this model to help in the distribution of getting more folks interested in solar, and then with a no money down program to get solar put on their roofs. So it's an exciting opportunity, and it's still at 1% market penetration. And these are our markets here, folks. You know anybody in Hawaii, that would give you a good reason to reach out to them, or California, or Las Vegas, out here on the West Coast, and just about every spot up here in the Mid-Atlantic and and New England. Like I said, Solar City is our partner with this. Solar City has about 40% of the market share with residential solar, the biggest dog in the yard for sure. And you know, you got the #1 businessman in the world and voted by Fortune in 2013. And all you have to do is really have a roof that doesn't have much shading and spend $100 in electricity a month, and you know, you are pre-qualified to go get a free solar consultation. And all I do is, you know, I asked a friend or an associate, hey, did you ever think about solar? Yeah, I did. It's too expensive. Well, you know, I get a little conversation. Take their information, takes about 30 seconds, pre-qualify them, take a picture with my iPhone, email it, and then they do it the rest of the time. And what's cool about that is many times a proposal can come back looking like this, and I'm sure you can't see it. But this is down in Atlantic City Electric. A friend of mine lives in Manahawkin, and we did the proposal. It's got a great roof, uses a lot of juice, and you know, with no money down and going with a fixed rate, which is much cheaper than the utility. And here, what you're doing is you're paying for the power, not the panels. So you're paying Solar City your utility, instead of paying the utility $18,400, you're paying Solar City $15,400, fixed for 20 years. And that $18,400 tends to go up between 4% and 5% every year. So, you know, when you do the math, it's about $52,000 worth of savings for my buddy. You go up to Boston, you have even more extreme examples. This is Mike Ayer's customer from Boston. He's a single man that lives in a very small Cape Cod house. They're paying 24 cents a kilowatt up there. If he goes into a fixed rate at 15, his utility bill goes from $240 to $175, and over the course of 20 years, he's looking at $40,000 to kind of keep in his pocket. And you know, you can put that towards a $529 for your kids. You know, you can think about it in that way as well. So with the next section, green living, I think everybody understands more and more that, you know, we have to be more responsible and choose things that are more sustainable. I remember there was a point where, when I realized that you could choose here in New Jersey, before I got involved with Veridian, I went on a website to see, you know, what the different things were, and I saw a company that was, you know, you could choose some partial green or 100% green. This before New Jersey was even part of the Veridian footprint. But to choose the green part, or a little bit of green, you were paying like a big premium on it. And I noticed that with a lot of things. Like, I also have an embroidery business, and to buy stuff that's recycled or 100% organic, there's always a tremendous premium to it. But now, Bill Gates filmed a video a few years ago, and he talks about, you know, the next Bill Gates will be formed in a business where they can provide energy that is not only more environmentally friendly, but, you know, is cheaper as well. So that's what we're talking about here. And these are the types of people that are recognizing climate change, okay, that are recognizing the need to be more sustainable. And you know, you got pretty smart people up here. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, you know, an influential man in the Pope, okay, he just recognized that, you know, we have to do more as a community, as a society, as you know, a whole global initiative. And then, you know, you have the president of the free world, and if you're going to say, well, he's a leftist, he's a liberal, Barry Goldwater Jr., okay, is also 100% all in on solar. So it doesn't matter if you're left or you're right, everybody is in on this, okay? So you can trust them, or you can trust your brother-in-law, Fred, okay? And Fred says that's a scam, that's all BS, but I'm learning to just go with, you know, go with the people that probably are a bit smarter than I am. What I'd like to do right now is, we're very lucky to have, I'm lucky to have this person who lives in my town and actually runs the environmental, what is it called, a commission in town, and teaches everybody how to recycle on TV. But in addition to that, she is a Veridian associate, and she's actually been recognized by Veridian, and she won something called an AMPI award for her sustainability efforts. She also chairs the Sustainability Council with Veridian, which it really shows you that Veridian is committed to doing the right thing. She's also been involved in environmental issues for 25 years, and in fact is an environmental scientist. So who better to speak about this for a few minutes than the lovely and talented Janine Tankus. Nice warm round of applause.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go with your next slide. We said generation of electric power produces more pollution than any other single industry in the United States. And I think that is an incredibly powerful statement and a powerful fact for why you should be very proud to be involved with Veridian in any way, whether it's as an associate or just as a customer. And I shouldn't even say just, I should say as a customer. It truly is, when you choose Veridian, you are truly doing something that is very impactful on the environment. We should all recycle and bring our tote back to the supermarket and turn the water off when we brush our teeth. But this one act, which is what I call the easiest, laziest thing you can do to sign up as a customer for Veridian, is a very impactful thing, and much more impactful actually than all these other things that, you know, I don't want to say you should stop doing them, you need to keep doing them, but this one small and easy act has such a big, powerful impact on the environment. And speaking about that one fact, I just also want to talk about it from a health perspective. We're talking about helping to prevent air pollution, and that is very significant. The air pollution is constantly tied to more and more health issues, and the one I tend to talk to customers about is asthma, because I just see so many people with asthma, so many children with asthma, and nobody knows why, for a fact, why asthma rates are on the rise. There are theories, we don't know for sure, but it is a fact, and I checked with my pediatrician, that air pollution triggers asthma attacks. So when you are choosing Veridian and helping to prevent air pollution, you are doing something to help solve the problem of asthma in our society and help children and adults with asthma. So certainly anybody who works with children, who's a parent, who knows anyone with asthma should really be excited that here's something I can do to be part of the solution to the problem. And this is a fact up here, up on this next slide, about the 5 billion pounds of carbon emissions that Veridian, with all its customers, helped to prevent being emitted into the atmosphere since Veridian started. And this number, it's very exciting for us involved with the company. We keep seeing this number go up. So when I started, it was 800 million, and I actually have this brochure with me that is barely a year old, which says it was 2 billion pounds, and now it's up to 5 billion. So it's, again, just very powerful to become a customer of Veridian. Just takes less than 5 minutes, you enroll, and then when you're an associate and you're helping to teach other people to become customers and bring in more customers through your associates, you can really feel like you're doing something very important and very impactful to the environment. Now with Veridian, let's ask him, who knows what Veridian's tagline is?
Power with purpose.
Shout it out.
Power with purpose.
Yeah, okay. Power with purpose. That is very meaningful, and you're going to hear a lot of things tonight, and you're not going to remember everything you heard, but I want everybody to remember that Veridian's tagline is Power with Purpose, because it really represents the culture of Veridian and what we're all about. Veridian is truly a green company, and you've heard about how they green the grid, but it's not just that they green the grid. It is a company with a culture of sustainability. And you know what, with greening the grid, I do also want to say there are maybe other companies up there that offer some part green or green products, but they basically offer brown products, and then hey, if you want to pay extra, you can do something green. Everything Veridian does is green. Every product they offer has green content, and significant green content at that. And everything the company does is in the vein of sustainability. We do a lot of things. I could do a 45-minute presentation about all the things Veridian does to try to be sustainable. But just to mention one thing, because it's significant this week, in particular, Veridian runs all kinds of sustainability projects around the world and locally. Right now, there are Veridian associates, just like us associates in the room, just everyday people, who are on a sustainability project in Nicaragua. And they are installing solar panels on a community that has no electricity, no energy supply whatsoever. And imagine how they are changing those people's lives forever, and that whole community going forward. There was a community we did this with in Africa a few years ago, and just to give you an example of how powerful that is, for the first time they had a hospital, because now they could refrigerate medication consistently and offer medication to people in the area. So things like that are happening in Nicaragua this week by people like you and me with Viridian. And in addition to these projects around the world, we do local projects, lots of them. And in a few minutes, I'm going to give you the details on a project coming up in a couple of weeks that some of you might be interested in coming to participate in.
Thank you, Janine. This is why this is the best meeting in the country, because at any time we can call up an environmental scientist or a professional soccer player, whatever we need, we got it here. We got it right in our own backyard, right here in Marlboro, New Jersey. You got that on camera, right? Best meeting in the United States of America. All right, so this is the distribution model. Now, before I get into this, the business part of it, who in this room, if we could just raise our hands, actually has electricity in their house? I think mostly everybody has electricity. That's good. So that is, you can be customers, and just about everyone you know probably has electricity. So you could actually be customers, and you just heard the tagline and the power that you can create just from helping yourself do the right thing, but helping dozens of other people do it, and then finding that this is the network marketing piece coming in. Finding people that you want to kind of lock arms with, people you like, people you respect, and bring them into business with you, not for you, but with you, and they do similar things, and then start to build an organization, and then you've got a freight train rolling, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, but this is a...
The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades and about the workplace being the secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off, we've been laid off, we've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong. That on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here, look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans, industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea.
So network marketing, something I was never involved with before, is really about thinking differently and thinking and trying to look at a target that you realistically can't see, but envisioning that, because there's a lot of scary things going on, and they alluded to technology. I just heard a radio show 2 weeks ago, and me and Sajid, I may have mentioned this before, and if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. If you have a child or a grandchild under 4 years old, they're probably never going to learn how to drive a car, because the car is going to drive itself. In 10 years, 50% of the workforce in this country is going to be replaced by robots. That's where we're going, because it's just exponential growth with technology. So when you start to think about things like that, you got to think about some backup plans. And of course, we know all about the stress that finances cause. And why not have something that's doing good for people? You're doing not only good for yourself, you're doing good for others by helping them make a decision and a choice that they have the freedom to make. But lastly, you're really having a contribution to the greater good by getting involved with something like this. So this is the whole thing in a nutshell here. John D. Rockefeller, he got this from Big John Piontek. I would rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. Now when you think about that, you know, you may be great at what you do, but you know what? If you get knocked out, get into an accident, something happens, you know, you're getting 0% return on 0% of your effort. But in this case, when you can build in this particular model, you can get considerably overpaid in a legacy format for just about in perpetuity if you set this up right. And there's people in this room who are setting this up correctly, and there's people in this room that are getting started, that are getting their car payments on autopilot, their mortgages on autopilot, and it's exciting. Warren Buffett, big fan of network marketing, owns 51 companies. When this was published, he says 3 of them are network marketing companies, and it's the best investment I've ever made. Donald Trump said if he could start all over again, and if he had to, he'd find a great network marketing company and get to work. Bill Gates also said if given a chance to start all over again, he would choose network marketing. So this is a $300 investment to do business, to own a solar business in California, Nevada, everywhere, electric, gas, and all those markets we talked to earlier. What do you get for the $300? Well, you get me. No, you get support that you'll never have. I mean, I talk to guys that have been to, that were in the Marine Corps and that were, you know, in the FBI Academy, and they said, you know, the leadership and support in this business, and they were just in a couple of months, is beyond anything I've experienced. So, how do you can actually get your money back in 2-3 days, but generally in 8 weeks, you can get your money back. In fact, you can triple your investment, okay, in this, by just having yourself and some other people choose the products that we offer, which are free, by the way. You're not selling anything, you're recommending. And then you can make a small fortune by just, you know, where I talked about how I talk to my friends about solar, I actually get paid for that, for making that recommendation. Okay, if I do that, you know, say 5 times in a month, Veridian's going to give me $50. Okay, if I do that 10 times in a month, Veridian's going to give me $300. Okay, just for talking to people and filling a form out and using my iPhone. Okay, if they end up signing the contract, say 5 people sign the contract, that's $350 for each contract, and I'm not smart enough to do the multiplication and tell you what it was. So I'm sure somebody is. But, you know, you get 8 or more folks to do that, and that's $4 grand. So you're talking about a significant amount of money. The cool thing about solar, though, I don't think I mentioned this, when someone becomes a solar customer of yours, you're going to get a royalty, okay, every month for 20 years, okay? Imagine getting 10,000 customers just like that in your organization. And that's very possible, and it's going to happen. Now there's a solar rewards program, where if you have people that don't necessarily want to be an associate, and they live out far, wherever, or they can live right in your neighbors, they could be a they could be a referrer for you. They could simply, they don't even have to have solar. They could refer for you all day long. They get a nice, pretty website. You get a beautiful website with solar, and all they do is they refer for you. You don't even know what they're doing, but there's a way that you can see what they're doing. But when that person actually becomes a solar customer and gets their system installed, they're going to get $300. So that's nice. You also get 100, but the cool thing to me is you're going to get a customer that's going to pay you a residual income, a royalty off of their roof every month for 20 years. And here is our path to success in Veridian. Okay, everyone starts off with 0, and they put a few personal customers in along the way and start to build their team. Now, when you build a team up to a director, you've built a small organization, which is really a leadership building block. And you've acquired about 15 personal customers, but you have 250 in your organization. So you're in business with a lot of people that you like, that you've always wanted to work with, and they're all kind of doing the same thing. So if we have any directors, lead directors, senior directors, or executive directors in the room, if you could just stand up, give me your name, where you're from, what do you do for a living? Go ahead.
My name is Janine Judy Tangus, I work in Manalapan, and I work in the environmental field.
Okay, great. We have any other directors? I'm an executive director, and my name is Tony, and I'm from Manalapan. I'm a retired state trooper, and like you heard, I'm heavily involved with this. I'm also involved with some fraternal organization that I'm a consultant with, and also have an embroidery business. Now we get to the money page. So I don't know if you can see this, but this is, this is where you're starting to build some considerable residual income. So at the partner level, it's about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,000, depending on how many customers you have. That's how much money you get piped in every month. Okay, that's all these customers, 4,000 customers in your organization. As they pay their bills, you get paid the following month on the 10th, collectively. And they also, at one point, they're going to give you a car. And my sponsor, Sadre, just picked up his Audi Q7 last week, courtesy of Veridian. So that's really exciting. The only problem with the car, it has to be silver. And if that's an issue for you, that might be a reason not to get involved. So, as we go on, there's platinum partners, they have 8,000, and it just kind of compounds. But what you can see here is you never need to get more than about 24 personal customers. So nobody's saying this is a business where you're going to go and you knock on doors. No, we don't even allow you to knock on people's doors. It's just based on your warm market and then building a business. And remember, you're not selling anything. You're not buying megawatts of electricity. There's no quotas. There's nothing like that. You don't have to store anything in your garage. Okay? This is a free product, free and superior, and you can really make a fortune at it. And there's people in this room that are doing this. So I'd like to bring up my sponsor. His name is Sadre Jumbalai, to come up and give us the business, buddy.
Thanks. Sadre Jumbalai, I come from Millstone, New Jersey. I got involved just over 4 years ago. Why are we here tonight? Obviously, we're here because of this opportunity, because of the 3 trends, because of Veridian Energy. I'm a traditional business owner, but when this opportunity came across, it was just too big for me to sit on the sidelines. John is my sponsor. He introduced this to me. The company was 1 year old. Nobody was making big bucks. The only thing I knew about this was energy deregulation. I know energy is big. And when I look at opportunities, I look at risks and rewards. There was no risk. If it worked for me back then, the rewards could be gigantic. And that's factual. What do you stand to lose in here? $300 investment? This is a business that you can own, you can will, you can sell, you can sell to anybody. If you sign up and do nothing, you lose $300. That's your risk. That's probably one hand on blackjack in Atlantic City, guys. So with this $300 investment, guys, we have people doing millions of dollars a year. We also have people making a couple $100. But the fact of the matter is, this is just about to get off. So people will be making a lot of money. Do you want to sit on the sideline and let the big just transfer of wealth go by you, or do you want to be part of this? You don't have to go to special training. You don't have to go to school. We have 8 simple steps that the big boys that know this industry have created. Follow these 8 simple steps and you will grow a huge business. But you have to work it, guys. So do you want to sit at home and do nothing and watch other people make a lot of money, or do you want to get involved? And the more time you put in, the more you'll make, the faster you'll get to the top. But you work it at your own pace. You decide who you want to work this with, when you want to work it. Because with traditional businesses, guys, I own several of them, it's becoming a lot harder. Business is not the way it used to be. Overhead is bigger than it used to be. So this opportunity here, folks, is really second to none. Thanks.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I didn't get into this, and I know you can probably explain it pretty good. There's probably people sitting out here saying, it's all a great idea, but I'm just too busy. Can you address that?
Well, I own 3 businesses. I'm in my office 6 days a week, if need be 7. I have 4 kids. I'm a full-time soccer coach. 3 of my 4 kids play soccer, so when, you know, if you hold a 9-to-5 job and you're too busy, you might be too busy watching TV. But whatever you do, if you commute to the city, it takes you an hour and a half to 2 to go there, an hour and a half to come back. We all have cell phones, work the business. This is how I work it. You know, sometimes I drive 200 miles. I go from point A to point B to do estimates, to do jobs. That's how I work Veridian. I don't stop my traditional businesses to do this. I get on the phone, speakerphone, and I make my contacts, I set up my appointments, I take third-party calls. That's how you do it. So it's just a matter of how you budget your time. Are you too busy to retire in 4 or 5 years? Or do you want to wait until you're 70 years old to retire to poverty? These are your options, folks. This is huge. This is going to happen with us or without us. So if you're happy retiring to poverty, do what you're doing. If you want to take advantage of the biggest transfer of wealth in our lifetime, jump in here, guys. It's your business. The next person I'm going to introduce here is actually next couple. They are my sponsors. These guys are just blowing it up, the fastest growing associates in Veridian. Again, no background in network marketing. He's just a hardworking guy, just like me. He's a contractor. This man is on the verge of hitting Crown Partner, Lela, and Big John Piante.
You always sit in the back.
You bet.
Right, sorry for this delay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. You know, Tony started the meeting by saying this is really serious business, and I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that. John and I have a construction company, which is a really serious business. I keep all my files in filing cabinets. I have a special room where I go to do my work, and you know, he has a special truck that he drives, and we have a special crew that goes out to people's houses. That's serious business, right? Phone is connected to a particular number that we answer the phone to. That's the way we treated Veridian. But now that we're at Diamond Partner and we're looking at Crown Partner, we have to get serious again. And we have to do the same thing we did before, because this is completely a business of duplication. And everything starts with that list. And so as I'm kicking around saying, we've got to get to Crown Partner, we've been at Diamond for a long time, I'm going to make my list again. So I began to make my list, and I grabbed my phone, and I made my list, and I left it in the kitchen. And then I have another list that I have in the office. And then I have another list that I have by the bar. But you know, that's not serious. That's not really being serious. I mean, to sit down in one location, make your list, make it so that it's long, and draw your business out. If you've been doing this for a while, draw your associates out, find out who's underneath, really treat it like a serious business, then progress begins to happen. Then you begin to move. Then you have some inventory to work with. Then you have somebody to talk to on the way home in the pockets of your time to create this business, which will take you to retirement.
Good job. 4.5 years, right? 4.5 years. Here's what I saw 4.5 years ago. I think everybody that looks at this, now more so than back then, right? You go to any sharp person and you say, I'm in business with Elon Musk. You can have no fear approaching anybody you want to go. I don't care if they own a hedge fund, run $100 million, $500 million a year company. You should be proud to run to those people and say, we're in business with Elon Musk. Let me show you what I'm doing. But 4.5 years ago, I said, this made so much sense to me. And it was one thing. I went to Atlantic City. I was in the business for a month. And I seen people walking up on a stage with this big smile on their face. And they were only in the business for a year. And I said one thing. I drove back from Atlantic City and I said, I stood in the back. I went down there for 4 hours and I said, why can't I live the life of my dreams? And the only thing I said to myself is, I said that day, driving home from Atlantic City by myself, that nothing will stop me to reaching the top level of this company. because if someone else is doing it, I'm gonna do it. Might not know how I'm gonna get there, I don't know the road I'm gonna take, but nothing will stop me from reaching the top level of this company. So I had to hone my skills, but it was really about getting out of the rat race. Because my body's hurting, I'm sick and tired of chasing my next deal, and we always made money from hard work, but we're getting broken down. And now, like Sajre said, even the jobs we have, everything else is going up and people want to pay less money. They want to call you and complain even when you do a job right at the end of the night. Right? This is about freedom. And I said, who the hell can look at this and not want to work this 5 years to be financially free for the rest of their life? And the answer I come up with is people that are weak. I mean, because there's so many people that are doing this, but the ones that don't do it are the ones that make excuses. Because they don't have a why, they don't have a reason. I mean, if I have to do something and I have a busy day, I'll get up at 3:30 in the morning. I'll make the day longer. If you know you can retire making this kind of money a month with no employees, no overhead, no stress, and hop on a plane and go lay on a beach for a month and come back and get a raise when you get back, where the hell does that happen? It happens right here. If you wanted to. All it's about writing a list and realizing you're giving people the biggest gift in life that you could possibly ever offer somebody. $2.99 dinner for 4 on a Friday night is the cost of admission of playing this game. It's a joke. It's really a joke when you have people that have traditional business. I have one guy that says to me, you know, John, I'm thinking about starting my own business with this company. I got to get up $600,000. And I said to him, I says, Joe, you realize that 86% of these are factual, 86% of the businesses within the first 18 months go down the tubes? Do you realize that there's people making this kind of money a month in 4 years and we haven't even started yet? What's it, you think solar is going to stop 1% penetration? Do you think it's going to stop? Or do you think it's just going to blast off? It's going to blast off. We know where it's going. People just got to want to play. And it's fun, too, being around a bunch of people that you want to pick and choose and be around. My wife and I are going to Boston in a couple weeks. We got a group up there. We got a group in D.C. We got a group in Maryland. We got a group in Ohio. We got a group in Connecticut. We got a group growing in California. We got a big group starting in Texas now. Because we're offering people a gift. And the people that don't grow their business don't pick up their phone. Because they have fear. What's the fear about? To be in business with Elon Musk, to offer somebody a $50,000 savings on their house that they can put in their pocket where you get paid on every time the sun comes up for 20 years? Really? What's not to get here is what I say to people. What's really not to get here? Retirement in 5 years. 4 to 5 years, anybody that hits this, and it's about putting people in a room. It's about promoting something you believe in, and it's about taking no prisoners. If somebody don't see it, somebody tells you no, next. I get told no every 9 out of 10 times I do estimates. How many times do you get told no? Coop, do you get every job you go on? It's getting a little bit harder now, ain't it? It's a numbers game, folks. Where you lack in skill, you'll make up for in numbers. If you want to live the life of your dreams, and I'll tell you what, working or owning a business is surviving. Glorified surviving when you own a business, except you have a lot more stress when you come home and you wake up in the morning because you have to depend on you, and you have to depend on people to pay you nowadays too. Because there's a lot of people, we have money out all over the place. Insurance money, we got to wait 120 days. 4 months, 5 months to get paid. We're floating money.
Like banker.
Yeah. But folks, I can honestly tell you this has changed our life in 4 years. That's a 4-year college. I tell my son, he's going to college now. I said 4 years of college, you come out with debt. You start at the bottom of the totem pole working for a company. It might take you 10 years to get somewhere where you're gonna pay off your debt and really start making a little bit of money. And then you might get the tap on the shoulder, say, we don't need you no more, we're downsizing, we're sending this over to India now. Because corporate America don't care about you.
The robots are coming too, but.
You know, and you know what, guys, we have something right here that's the biggest transfer of wealth we're ever gonna see in our life. And if you wanna grow a business, it's really not hard. It's about, like my wife said, it's about writing a list, couple hundred people. You know what? You approach 150 people like Bob Quintana did. He showed this video to 150 people. 46 people told him yes, 104 people told him no. The guy's making $150,000 a month. Do you think he cares about the 100 people that told him no? You don't even remember their names. And his 150 will be 300,000 a month, will be 600,000 a month, will be $1.2 million a month. Because folks, we're only in 12 states. What happens in 5 years, 6 years, when you start growing a business and you're making $5,000, $10,000 a month now? What do you think you're going to be at in 5, 10 years? It's just going to keep getting bigger. Once you start this, you can't stop it. You're not going to want to stop it, but you can't stop it once you start building leaders. So I just hope you take something away from this. We're not going to be here next week because they have the room booked. But two weeks from now, on Wednesday night, we're going to be here full force. I'm trying to get Joe O to come down, the top earner in the company. We're going to get the word out. But folks, you know, it's really hard to see. Tony talked about having a vision. And the only thing I did when I first saw this is I saw those people walking across stage and I said, you know what? They're sharp people, but they're no better than me. So why not me? What am I going to do about it? And the one thing I did is I never made an excuse, and I never will make an excuse, and that's why I'm where I'm at. Thanks a lot.
This is it's free, an associate. As an associate, you can, you know, if you have a little league or something like that, it's called a residual fundraising program. And what's really cool about this is if you have a charity that's near and dear to your heart, they can come in for free as an associate and have all the patrons of their organization, you know, make the choice to go with Veridian, and then each month for all the electric customers they get $2 per month every month. Which is great. It's better than selling candy in newspapers and magazines and all that. So that's available. And there's also a program for veterans and active military personnel and/or their spouses to come in at no cost. It's called the Heroes Program. So you know, you think about that. You have any of those types of folks in your life, and that may help you build your list, which I'm sure you're thinking about. Thank you all for coming out in the end of the world that's going to be occurring tonight. Go get your bread and your milk. Think about this. You can come into this business, you can become a director, which means you build a business, you get a few customers, and you get your buddies, and they get a few customers. And then you can go to Bermuda if you get that done by April 30th. And Veridian will pay all expense paid trip to Bermuda. So, you know, if that can kick you in the butt a little bit, that would be great. So think about that. We'll see you here in 2 weeks. And John, what are you doing Sunday? Anything?
Training.
There'll be, for any associates that are interested, there'll be training again at Big John and Lella's house, Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Thank you. Have a safe night.